Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. This is going to be a quickish sort of video today with a story at the beginning, just like Tom Hardy's bedtime stories, which got an absolutely amazing following by not many children. So this could be very, very similar. You may have realised I'm not quite Tom Hardy. I know he'll have to live with that. And the thing I'm going to focus on today is a story of Ulysses, which is from Greek mythology. And the purpose of it is to emphasise how we can sometimes bind ourselves in the future to overcome temptation and impulse. So Ulysses was a great sort of war hero. He led many ships and took part in the Battle of Troy. And on the return from Battle of Troy, they had to pass an island, and he knew this island was full of sirens, and sirens were these women that sung the most enchanting, beautiful songs that sends people absolutely stir crazy with pleasure and excitement, to the point that it overtakes them. The song can be so enchanting that it causes ships to change their course, head towards the island, hit the rocks, and people to die. But they knew the temptation was there. They knew that they couldn't possibly go past it without being drawn into it. But Ulysses wanted to experience it and had no choice but to go past it. So the way that he overcame that was he arranged for all of his shipmen, not seamen, to plug their ears with wax. So they were completely deaf. They couldn't be swayed in any way, shape or form to steer towards it. And he arranged for himself to be tied to a mast at sword point by some more shipmen with their ears plugged with wax, so that he knew that he'd go past and he'd hear the sounds, he'd get all the pleasure from it, but there was absolutely nothing that he could do about it. And so the plan went into action. They sailed past. The song started hitting his ears. He went into some sort of euphoric state of pleasure and excitement, and he sailed past with the rest of his ships uneventfully. However, he managed to experience all of that amazing temptation, all the riches and the excitement of everything that was on offer, albeit he'd planned against the perils of it, which were ultimately death. He didn't want to die. He just fought in a war. So that's something that we can do in ourselves a lot of the time as well. It's something that a lot of people do in modern time now with sort of financial planning and stuff like that. If you know you're crap at spending money and that sort of thing, then a lot of people arrange on paydays for all of their bills to come out on a certain day, so that they know that whatever money is left is for them and all the bills are covered, for instance. Something that we use quite a lot in working with addiction as well is like a lot of people will know their triggers. People will know that the substances or their behaviour or the whatever it is damaging and dangerous to them, so they work out what's the trigger going to be and how I'm going to plan against it. It's just a really cool and easy tool to be doing, really, is identifying what sort of temptation is going to come my way, and do I trust myself enough in it that I'll have complete control over it to overcome it. Because if you don't believe you've got that control, then you can put in sort of constraints, or you can put in incentives to overcome that temptation or that impulse that you may be experiencing. It can be something with food, for instance. So, for instance, if you know that you're going to, if whatever's in the cupboard, any sweets, chocolate, crisps, anything like that, if they're in the cupboard, you're going to get through them all, then ultimately you've got a choice. Are you going to buy sweets, chocolate and crisps so that they're in the cupboard that you know you're not going to use? Or are you not going to do it? Are you going to go to the shops and decide I'm not going to do it because all I'm going to do is going to absolutely tear the arse out of it, and then an hour or so later I'll be sat in regret? Alternatively, some people, when they're dealing with impulse eating, will sometimes get a small bowl, fill that bowl up, take it back to their living room and eat from that bowl. So it's limiting down the amount they're going to use. But just have a think about some of the things that you face that sometimes you feel you're not completely in control with, because the strength of impulse and the strength of the pleasure and the experience of the now is normally far stronger than the future of saying, if you don't do that, then you'll get this. It's not the same as you get it now. It's sort of thing that also they do with like car salesmen, for instance, always want to get you sat in a car, because then you've got the experience of being in that car. All of that experience is right there and then, and you're experiencing all of it. And then it's very, very difficult for you to then get out of the car and to, if you've liked it, and to go, oh no, I'll wait a few months. No, they've sort of got you at that point. As soon as you got into that car, they've got you right where they want you. So yeah, really cool tool to use. Use it quite a lot in the therapy sessions when we're dealing with impulse, temptation, and things like that. Hope it's been of some use. Hope you enjoyed story time and it lived up to the same standards as Tom Hardy. Take care all. Speak soon. Bye bye.